Why does your brain replay that one awkward thing you said 5 years ago while you're trying to fall asleep, but you can't remember the details of your last promotion? It feels like torture, but it's actually a survival mechanism. Your amygdala treats social rejection like a lethal predator. In this video, you'll learn exactly why your brain is wired to do this, the ancient survival logic behind it, and the specific technique neuroscientists use to finally rebalance it so the wins start sticking as hard as the embarrassing moments do. The survival trap. It's 2 in the morning, and your brain pulls up a memory you never asked for. The comment that landed wrong, the joke that fell flat. Your face gets hot, even though nobody's watching, and it happened years ago. Meanwhile, the night you got promoted? Fuzzy. A handshake, some applause, none of the sting. That's not a flaw. It's your memory system working exactly as designed. Your brain doesn't file a clumsy comment as a minor hiccup. It files it as a threat to survival, using nearly the same machinery as a physical attack. Feeling good registers, but it isn't urgent. Feeling humiliated is, and need to know goes first, every time. You can actually measure that switch. The instant a social moment goes wrong, your body releases a spike of cortisol, the same stress hormone it reaches for during a genuine emergency. There's no gentler setting for mildly embarrassing. The amygdala's grip. The structure running all of this is a small, almond-shaped cluster called the amygdala. Normally, it just tags experiences with an emotional weight so your brain knows how important they are. But the moment shame spikes, it hijacks the whole encoding process. This matters more than anything else. Save it at maximum resolution. That's why a promotion leaves a light footprint, a few pleasant impressions, easy to lose, while a social blunder gets seared in. Not stored, seared, the way a brand marks skin instead of touching it. The exact words, the exact face someone made, sometimes even the temperature of the room, survive 20 years later whether you want them to or not. So you remember the humiliating moment in something close to 4K, and your biggest win fades into, "It was good, I think." The amygdala isn't weighing how important the event actually was. It's weighing how useful it is as a warning. Ancient exile. To understand why your brain treats embarrassment like a crisis, go back further than any memory you actually have. A single human, cut off from the group, alone in the wild, wasn't just uncomfortable. In a short amount of time, they were dead. No tribe meant no food, no protection at night, nobody to help fight off a predator. Getting cast out wasn't a social inconvenience. It was a death sentence with a delay built in. For most of human history, the single most dangerous thing that could happen to you wasn't a physical attack. It was doing something that made the group decide you weren't worth keeping around. Your brain never got the memo that this changed. It still treats social rejection as a lethal hazard because for nearly the entire time it spent evolving, that read was completely accurate. The negativity bias. There's a phrase psychologists use for this. Velcro for bad, Teflon for good. Negative experiences stick. Positive ones slide right off. Not because your brain ignores good things, but because they never get the same encoding priority. And rumination, that replaying loop at 2 a.m. isn't a malfunction either. It's a rehearsal. Your nervous system searching for the exact moment it could have gone differently, trying to lock the lesson in so you never repeat that mistake in front of that group again. In a small tribe where reputation was survival currency, that loop was genuinely useful. The problem is dragging a Stone Age alarm system into a modern world where almost none of your social stakes are actually fatal. Forgetting a name at a party won't get you exiled from your food supply. But your amygdala doesn't know the stakes changed. It's still running the exact same emergency protocol, calibrated to a danger that stopped applying long before you were born. Rewiring the response. Here's the good news. The same plasticity that wired this bias in lets you loosen its grip. The first tool is the spotlight effect. The convincing but mostly false sense that everyone is watching and remembering your mistake as intensely as you are. They're not. Studies tracking this find people dramatically overestimate how much others noticed, often by 2, 3, sometimes 4 times the actual number. The room you think is still thinking about what you said moved on before you even made it home. The second tool is deliberate redirection. When the cringe memory surfaces, and it will because you can't delete it, only outcompete it, don't suppress it. Suppression just adds more emotional charge, telling your amygdala this memory deserves even more priority. Instead, consciously pair it with one specific win, held in detail for a few full seconds. You're not erasing the old memory, you're building a competing one. Do this consistently, and you're not fighting your biology, you're using it. The same plasticity that carved the cringe memory in that deep can carve your wins just as deep. So the next time you're lying awake at 2 a.m., replaying something that happened years ago to an audience that's already forgotten it, that's not a broken memory system. It's a survival mechanism from a world that no longer exists, still running on your hardware. And the more specific wins you give the same weight, the quieter that old alarm gets.